Good evening. By the Mishnah, new Perek Hamishi. Shosh Nagata Parav, an ox caught a cow that was pregnant. Vinim Sa'ubara Betzida, and the cow had a fetus that was next to the body when it was dead. And they do Imachlun Khayada, Imshin Khayada. Right? We don't know if the fetus was born dead before it was gored or was born dead because it was gored. Meshlun Hatsi Nizak Parav, or Vi'an Nizak Levad. The owner of the ox may pay half damages for the cow and a quarter for the fetus. So to a cow gored an ox. Then it's done. And you see the cow had given birth. We don't know if the cow gave birth before it gored the ox, and anything to do with the goring. Or if it gave birth after it gored the ox, and therefore the fetus got the it wasn't a fetus, it was an actual animal. It was involved in it. Right? So you'd have to pay half damages from the cow and a quarter damages from the offspring, right? Because we're not sure it's a tam, which comes from the goof. And now we kind of have 1.5 goof because we're not sure whether or not the fetus of the animal, the baby was involved or not. And therefore you pay only a quarter. Safek. Okay, Gemara. Mar v'demar Shmuel zut divrei simchos. This is according to simchos. The Mar Ma'olam Matabas Safek Cholkin, who says whenever you have a safek, whenever you're not sure about money, it's split. Aval Chachamim Umrim say something very famous. Zah klal gadol badin. This is a major halacha. You don't always see that. Hamotzi mehavero ala barav. If you want to take money from someone else, prove it. And therefore, according to the Mishnah, according to Chachamim, you want to take extra money for the fetus or through the fetus, depending on which case, you have to prove it. What does it mean? No, zeh what does it mean? We don't say that about everything. It's right? Even in a case, we need to tell you, even in a case where the guy who got damaged says, I saw this happen, and the guy who was the owner, damagee, says, I don't know if it happens. Even in that case, even in that case, you still got to prove it to extract that money. If someone sold an ox to his friend and it ended up being a goring ox. Rav says it's an error purchase, never went through, and therefore refund. But Shmuel says that you can say that I didn't sell it to you for usage, I sold it to you for slaughter, and therefore it doesn't make a difference whether or not it's a goring. It doesn't make a difference if it's a goring type of ox. You just I thought you were going to slaughter it for barbecue. Am I? So it says He said, according to Shmuel, why should it be why is there machloket at all? Just check. Does this guy usually buy plowing oxen, which would mean that he would need a refund? Or does he usually buy oxen for eating, and therefore he would not need a refund? Let's see. They got rid of the ha'ulha. So you're not looking for a guy who buys both, and therefore you can't prove anything. Let's see. Let's check the purchase price. Is it $1,000 slaughter ox, or is it a $3,000 plowing ox? Where it says, we say no, meat at the time, it could be talking about a case where meat's expensive at that point, inflation. And therefore, it's indiscernible whether or not it would have been a plowing purchase or a slaughtering purchase. Amri, they said, trying to pay it beat, if there's no money available for the buyer to get a refund from him, let him just keep the ox instead of money. The amre inshi, because people will say, which says that even in your debt, collect even anything, even bran, any garbage as payment. All right. Nowadays we say, take what you could get. So if the guy doesn't have money, you keep the ox as payment, because as a refund, then you keep the money as payment, you keep the ox as payment, because as we say, take what you could get if you're afraid you're not going to get anything else. So therefore, even according to Rav, if the guy's just going to keep the ox, then what's the difference? The Gemara says, referring to a case where there is money, and therefore he doesn't want to keep the ox, he wants the cash back. Rav says it's considered a error purchase. We go according to the majority. Majority people buy oxen for plowing. Shmuel said like it's the buyer, the seller to the buyer, I sold to you for slaughter. We don't go for majority. Only time we go for majority, but regarding money cases, we don't go into majority. The case of Isura for majority is referring to that case of the meat mentioned the other day. Found a piece of meat, you have 10 pieces of meat, 9 of them are kosher, and one of them is not. You can eat all 10 because the 12 is kosher. And then over here, there's money. And money, we don't go according to Rav. Rather, to bring proof. Okay. Hey, another part is similar. Knocks the gourd cow that was pregnant inside Ubra dead fetus is next to it. Then when we don't know if it gave birth before it was gored or it was after it gored. You pay a half for the cow and a quarter for the fetus. If you want to prove they want to pay for your fetus, prove to me, show me the camera footage that my ox caused your animal to have a miscarriage. Amar Rabbi Shmuel ben Achmani. How do we know what pasuk teaches you Hamasmei Havero? Shenamar ki mi ba'al dvarim yigash alehem. Whoever has a grievance, whoever has a ta'ana, approach him. Yagish re'ayalim. Sounds like that in order to approach, you have to have a ta'ana, you have to have a proof. Akiva Rashi halam likrav. Why would you pasuk to teach me this? Svarahu. De'ka'iv le'ka'eva azil be'kasya. One who has pain, go to the doctor. Meaning, someone who has a claim against someone else should have the responsibility of bringing it to the court. And therefore, what do we have to re-explain the pasuk? Right? The pasuk is for Nachman, who said, where do we know that the court only gets involved with the plaintiff first? Right? Meaning, if if you have like two guys arguing against each other, and Reuven tells Shimon, you owe me money. And Shimon says, well, you have my property. I'll pay back your money when you give me back the property. Bet Din does not go backwards. They say, okay, you first give back the money, then you give back the property. They go in order as to what was brought to their attention. Amr Nadra, sorry, how do we know that you go only get involved in order? That which was approached with the court first, Johnny, this case will be the loan, that's what gets taken care of first. Sometimes we'll go to the defendant first, meaning in the case of the money, we'll go to the second guy first. Why? It's where it's losing value because of what's going on. So if the guy is losing money, the second guy is losing money because of the first guy's situation, we'll go to number 2 first so that he doesn't keep on losing money, i.e. losing interest. The cow gored an ox. And we're not sure if the animal, the baby was involved or not. Is he got half and a quarter? He only pays half damage, since it's referring to a tam. Why do we have 3/4 and a quarter? Where it says, when it says half damages from the cow, it means a quarter of the damages. When we say a quarter of the damages of the baby, it's 1/8. Right? So therefore he's cutting 3/8 instead of a half. Now if they were together, say it was belonged to the same owner, the baby and the pet cow. Can the damagee tell the owner, give me half, 50%? Because regardless, why should I lose an eighth just because it was 2 separate animals? I should still get 4 out of 8, not 3 out of 8, because you own both. The only time we pay 3 out of 8 is referring to when you have 2 separate owners. The cow's owned by one and the baby's owned by somebody else. Let's say the damagee went over and demanded payment first from the cow before the baby, the owner. He could tell the cow's owner, your cow damaged me. They prove to me that you have a partner. And he proves to me that you have this partnership with the other guy, and then pay me. That's but rather, if he did not do that, say he went to the baby's owner first, he could tell him, the cow's owner could tell him, you show that I have a partner, and therefore I don't have to pay you the full, I could split it with the partner. Others say different version of the machloket. Even if the damagee went ahead and went to the cow owner first, In the first case, we said that he can do that successfully. Over here, we're not going to say that. Masi matchile, the cat owner can deflect to me, say, no, 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 you can't force me. I know I have a partner, and therefore I'm not responsible for the full fourth ace, 4/8, and therefore I'm paying you 3. Amarava, atu echad matva benezek v'echad mishmar benezek tanid. Does the Mishnah say that you only pay a quarter of the damage of the cow and an eighth of the damage of the cow or the baby? Hatzi nezek uvia nezek tani. He says, no, I don't like that. It says half and a quarter. Right? Amarava, lelam b'deparav elad v'chad. That is from our case where the cow and the baby are the same owner. Right? Exact opposite of the first version of the Mishnah. Ba'achim carrying is what the Mishnah is saying. Eat the para, the cow is there and available to collect. Mishnah Hatzi nezek v'ray. Collect half from the cow. Turn the page. Being later the para, if the cow is not there to be paid from, Mishnah is going to pay a quarter from the baby. So when it says half and a quarter, it doesn't mean both, it means two separate cases. Ta'ama, the reason why you collect a quarter from the baby is because you don't know if the baby was there. But if you do know the baby was inside the cow, you can collect the entire half from the baby. And Rava follows his own reasoning. The Amar Rava, para shehizika, if a pregnant cow did damage the tam, you can get payment even from the baby. My tama, gufehu, it's considered like part of the cow's body. And the gold shehizika, same thing with the chicken. If it had an egg inside, ain't a govim made stop, but you cannot collect from the egg. My tama, pirsha ba'amahu. Right? The egg is just an excretion. It's something that comes out of the egg of the chicken, but it's not really part of the egg of the chicken. Right? Chicken and eggs are separate, while cow and baby are more connected. Right? Because when cows have a baby inside, it's connected. But if the chicken is about to give birth, then the egg is already disconnected from the chicken's body as before pre-birth time, and therefore they're not really connected. However, a cow is literally connected with the umbilical cord, etc. Okay, we'll stop here. Amen.